For Gemini Ascendant natives, actually, their ninth lord Rahu is actually transiting through the first house. So you can see that, and it's kind of an intense. It's going to be one of the signs that will have very intense transformations, because Rahu transiting over the first house will have the eclipse falling on your first house, and first house is representative of yourself and your. So many times for Rahu, whenever Rahu is transiting over the first house, finally you will be questioning in a very deep sense. You will be questioning about your entire life path. Sometimes this can involve becoming realistic about marriage also, because it goes to the seventh house. This can also be a time period when you will, if you have been thinking about coming back to India, or if you have been thinking about going abroad even, or if you have been thinking about even doing something different with respect to your own abilities also. All this will be a time, this will be a testing time for Gemini. So you have definitely this 1.5 years is going to be an intense time period. It will be and any kind of transformation. The key thing is that with Rahu transiting over the first house, there can be confusion. There can be confusion also with respect to your life path, because Rahu is a great planet to bring breakthroughs, to break a situation. But then you shouldn't bring out the obsession, the negative qualities of Rahu, which is obsessive tendencies, or the willingness to do shortcuts to get to the path or something like that. It's very for Gemini natives to hear about that and to accept the transformational energy that is coming into their life. Be very beneficial in terms of releasing intense karmas also, and this transformation will bring about complete how things you have been thinking with regard to marriage or with regard to your own life, things like that also. Definitely, Gemini natives is kind of one thing that can definitely happen is sometimes many of these natives might be traveling to foreign lands as well. Who the Ascendant is a key time. I've seen immigration kind of themes playing out. Either you immigrate to some others, or you kind of move over to like some kind of foreign land comes, go to the Gulf regions or something like that. That kind of thing can actually happen also. Ketu is transiting through the seventh house, so it's very important to understand for Gemini Ascendants, this can be a testing time for your relationships and marriage as well. So it's kind of important not to let the past come up, and the past can actually come up during this time frame, but not to let it affect your present marriage. So it's very important this time. This is also important not to let unnecessary arguments that are coming up. You get headless, or your spouse might act headless. So just know that it's the Ketu playing out through them, and then you just need to accept it or understand it's the Ketu karma that's playing. The ninth lord transiting over first house can bring in a lot of spirituality for a Gemini Ascendant native. There might be continue a lot more spiritual classes, or some kind of spirituality can come in. But Ketu's transit through the seventh house is also the sixth lord transiting through the seventh house. There can be some arguments. This is why appeasing your ancestors or continuing with your ancestors for a Gemini is going to be very, very important. Definitely, I would say watch out for time periods of eclipse. Usually, eclipse energy, there can be some kind of big transformation. Eclipse time this year is going to be around June or so, May and June. So that can bring about some kind of transformation. It's very important to sit through the transformational energy and not to make any important decisions when the eclipse is happening for a Gemini Ascendant native. But yeah, definitely big themes of transformation with respect to a Gemini Ascendant for sure. Yeah, Dr. Pai, I think up to you.
Yeah. So Gemini coming in the first house, I would say with Rahu coming there and Ketu in the seventh house, many people more will be interested in their appearance, their complexion. People wanting to go for any major, transplants, maybe surgeries in the mouth, or dental surgeries, or anything to do with their skin. Because Tanubhav is more to do with self, body, complexion, appearance, so that becomes very magnified. And with coming to Mragashira and Punarvasu, many people might be interested in buying a lot of perfumes and cosmetics and material. And I would say a lot of these Gemini would be interested in getting photographed. A lot of selfies, a lot of pictures, a lot of social media posts with their pictures, with their friends and everything. But with the Ketu in the seventh, what I want to say to these people is they should be more careful about their relationships. And two areas as a remedy that I would say for Gemini ascendants is wherever you put your trash, okay, you have to just make sure that the trash doesn't remain there for too long, because it has to be cleared out, because Rahu rules anything which is waste. And the southwest region should be very clean. And Ketu, for having a good marital life or having a good partnership, I would definitely suggest removing, if there is a staircase, the area below the staircase is said to be Ketu. So if you've got too much of clutter sitting there, it's a good idea to remove the clutter from under the staircase. And also the northeast region, I would say, is it's better to remove and declutter, because that is the region where Ketu is active again. So I would say, these are some of the tips that I would want to give. And another thing that I would also want to say is, for these Gemini ascendants, curtains. You should get your curtains clean, because that is Rahu. And your nails should be clean as well, that is Ketu. So for your better relationship and for your better health, I would recommend that, nails and hair as well. Ketu rules the hair. So keeping yourself, for Gemini ascendants, people might want to go to the beauty salon very frequently for Gemini ascendants, I would say, to get a major hairdo or a major, uplift on how they want to look. So those are some of the tips.
First house for Gemini Ascendant, and Gemini Ascendant is ruled by Mercury. You have to remember Mercury is also the fourth lord for Gemini Ascendant. So one of the ways the Rahu energies will play out will be through the home environment. So I was mentioning about trash, the curtains, the staircase areas, definitely also the kitchen area for sure, with Rahu being controlled the kitchen area in general. That's also some good areas to be clean, to make sure that it's clean. Usually one thing also is that the tendency to not let moss in, that can also happen. It's more intense for a Pisces ascendant though, because Rahu will be transiting to the fourth house, but at least for a Gemini ascendant, a factor of that can also come in. So tendency to hide away from can become strong for a Gemini ascendant during this time, especially because Rahu's transit is happening. Definitely, remedies for sure to worship Goddess Kali or Goddess Durga. Either of them is very, very strong. So whatever remedies we mentioned before, it's great. But the home remedies is very, I would say, very and very, very important for gymnasts. And just wanted to highlight that.